Hello and welcome to CIMA P3 Performance Strategy Lecture 6. This is the third of our lectures on internal controls. Just finishing off the systems. The next system we wanted to look at was the inventory system. Remember, we're looking at control objectives and control procedures. Okay, so the first step in our inventory system is that the goods arrive. Control objectives. You want to make sure that the goods are secure when they arrive, that new deliveries are kept separate, that the quality is good, that they're correctly recorded. Procedures to ensure that this happens. You're going to have a secure location, check the quality as they arrive, and that the purchase cycle controls, which we've already looked at, are in place. Second, the storage of your inventory. The objectives here, of course, are that they are in a safe and secure location. You want to make sure that old inventory is used first, so that it doesn't go obsolete or get damaged. And you want to protect your inventory from theft. Procedures to do this. You're going to store them somewhere that is weather and fireproof. You're going to have a FIFO inventory system, first in, first out, and you'd like to have restricted access to inventory, and that'll mean a single secure exit so that people can't take inventory out without authorization. Okay, so when you're sending materials out of storage, this is really raw materials out to be processed. The objectives are that you send the correct amount, you send it to the correct place, and it's the correct type of materials. Procedures to ensure this: ensure that the authorization of requisitions is in place, that the manager authorizes them, the goods should be checked before leaving, and there should be standard quantities. So finished goods out of storage then. The objectives are that the correct goods are sent, that quality is maintained, and that you update your records. Procedures here, well, the procedures here are the same as the sales cycle, so I'm not going to go over them all again. Inventory count then. Well, the objective here is that the count is accurate. That's really all you're interested in. And the procedures to make sure that the count is accurate. Once you've counted an area, it has to be marked as counted so it doesn't get double counted. The manager can do spot counts to make sure that they tally to what is written down on the sheets. Count in pairs just reduces the risk of someone either making a mistake or doing it on purpose. Make sure that all the sheets are numbered sequentially so that you can check if any are missing. And isolate your deliveries during the count so that you're not having inventory added on top. That brings us on to the bank and cash within the business. Okay, so the objectives with bank and cash, well, really the first thing you want to do is make sure that all cash is safeguarded. You don't want to keep a lot of cash on the premises, so keep your cash balances small, and you want to make sure that there's authorization for any movements of cash. Procedures to ensure this: keep all cash in a safe, restrict the access to cash, make sure that there's security for movements of large amounts of cash, bank cash regularly, empty the tills regularly. You also want to have limited signatories on checks, only 2 or 3 people maximum allowed to sign checks. Restrict the access to online banking. Don't pre-sign checks, and make sure that the checkbook is kept in a safe place. Okay, the limitations of internal controls. Well, the first thing you've got to do is realise that you're relying on the people who are implementing the controls. Therefore, if there is staff collusion, they can overcome the controls. There's not much that you can do in terms of implementing internal controls if the people who are supposed to be implementing them collude together to overcome them. So that's the first thing you have to recognise. Internal controls are also designed around routine transactions. So if there's anything out of the ordinary, there's a good chance that your internal controls won't pick it up. There can always be human error. No matter what systems are in place, you're reliant on someone implementing that system, and there can be human error. And also cost-benefit analysis. There's no point in implementing controls if the cost of doing that outweighs the benefits derived from it. And that completes our look at internal controls.